Nice. I like that. I like that. That sounds like a conscious head nod. Yes. I think I talk about this in the book. But it reminded me of the bobblehead. Like, have you ever seen people that don't agree with something and they're just like, yeah, just to keep it
Oh,
comfortable?
oh, definitely.
That's the. So I'm stoked you're giving me some conscious, like, yeah, on purpose head nods rather than being like, oh my gosh, I don't agree with this person and I'm scared to say anything, so I'm just gonna do this. Bobblehead syndrome, big topic. Thank you, thank you. So one thing that I hear you, that I'm imagining as you say that is being in the presence of someone that's gossip. Like, let's say I'm hanging out with, I'm gonna make an example. I'm hanging out with Deanna and Timothy, my brother and my wife. And then
Yeah.
if Timothy leaves, and then my wife starts venting about Timothy, like, oh my gosh, like why is this and this? I believe if I once again go back to the bobblehead syndrome of nodding yes even though I disagree, that I'm almost that puts the person that's doing that like if it was me in that position, that would put that person as much guilt as the gossiper potentially in a way. It's like why me, you, we get an opportunity if someone's gossiping in our presence, aka leaking energy, venting a potential negative energy, like literally letting that out of them. It's our job, in my opinion, to protect our space and to even step up and say like, hey, like Timothy's, why can you tell this to Timothy? I don't think this information is for me. I think you have these judgments about Timothy, and if I'm just going to sit here and listen to them, I might start to have those judgments. They're not even mine, or I might start to feel the way you do, and I don't even feel that way. So
Yeah.
I do think one of the most responsible things we can do as conscious communicators is if someone is leaking energy or venting or gossiping about someone else that's not in that space, to be like, to put up a boundary, just like, hey, this is not aligned with me. I would rather you talk about Timothy when Timothy's here than me hear you talk about Timothy while he's not here.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing you saying is, as kind of protect our space and our experience of that person, so that it doesn't become, maybe suggested that we shouldn't like that person or that there's something wrong with them. If we don't see anything wrong with them in particular, and even if we did, how is that a story about me? How it's, how it says in your book.
Yeah, and it's really I like to play the game of victim and victor. I don't think the victim is the person being gossiped about. I actually think they're barely affected. It depends upon them if they want to be affected or not. But the person that I really think that we could help or support the most is the person doing the gossiping. And like be like hey, like to really look at them like they're, if someone's gossiping, I can look at them like they might need help. Like I think they're at calling unconsciously, looking for support. Why else are they gossiping in front of me? Like why else haven't they not gotten to the point where they can say what they mean and mean what they say to who it actually is to, rather than just like thought vomiting. I'm like, no, like, you're not thought vomiting on me, and I'm gonna actually help you here, and say, can you like, how can I help you in expressing this to the person that you're talking about? Because I'm not here to listen to it. I'm not here to receive this. I'm here to maybe hold you accountable to talking to the people that matters the most about what you're talking about. And that's, I'm not saying that's easy, but that is the opposite of being a bobblehead, and I think that's aligned with being like a conscious human being that's looking to support others. Yep, and then also you see it, and I see it. I've seen it in like social situations, especially like company structures, where someone might be like working for their boss, but like continuously griping about their work, yet they're receiving the money anyways. And funny enough, it's like not, I don't think the boss is the one being impacted by that gossip or leaking of energy. It's just like that person is staying in their sorry place, this place that they're sorry to be in, by being like a butt kisser rather than a butt kicker. So like if someone wants a raise, or if someone wants to be paid more, or someone wants to do a different job and they're working for someone else, and the way they cope with it is by gossiping about them rather than confronting them, the person in charge might they might be wise enough where they're aware of this and they're like, well, whatever, I just pay this person an hourly wage and I get this much value from them, and they can gossip all they want, but it's still working. They might not care. Now, if someone confronts them of like, hey, I'm worth more money, I'm pissed off, I'm gonna disrupt this, I'm confronting you. Bosses are interested in working with people like that. That's when they might get a raise. It's like, oh shit, I didn't know that you had this fire inside of you. I didn't know you had the ability to directly communicate what's on your heart to the people that it matters the most. Like, do you want to be vice president, or can we put you in a different position? Like, so it works in so many different ways. I'm so stoked you brought up this topic, and it was funny we started talking about the bobblehead because it's opposite of the bobblehead. It's like matching our nonverbal communication with our words, and using our body in a way that we can say no. We can say no when I mean no, and I can say yes when I mean yes, and I can say what I mean to who it matters the most to, rather than talking about it to someone else. Yeah, man, I totally resonate with what you're saying, and I'm happy that my book is a catalyst for you being more congruent with your communication. And yeah, I do think that it's finding the balance of not thought vomiting and blah, blah, blah. And then also not necessarily just agreeing with people. Like finding that space where you can speak what's on your heart in the form of a question sounds even more accurate. Hey, I feel like the best answers are usually embedded in questions. Like in the question that's being asked is the best advice typically, rather than being told how to do something. Because what works for me might not work for anyone else in the world.
That's true.
And vice versa. So I think that also on this just vibration of this conversation, that I do believe the person that can like ask those type of questions that are the most meaningful to them, whether it's asking for a raise, whether it's asking for a discount, whether it's asking for money, whether it's asking to be in a relationship, whether it's asking for whatever's the most scary thing to ask, that if they can ask that and be with them and be with themselves, without facading, without running away, without doing something weird just to make themselves a little less uncomfortable, but whoever can stick with and sit with their own fun comfortableness of asking the questions that mean the most to them, I think is very correlated with being successful. That is like a way of defining success potentially. Run, guan, guan, guan. Run, guan, guan, guan. Run, guan, guan.